Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades, and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We are getting back into Love Island series 11 on episode 46. I am getting there. I'm getting there because I'm happy. Okay, because we have come to the end, as I already know, of Love Island. So I've just got these last few episodes to react, to discuss and to break down with you all. I hope you have all enjoyed my ranting and raving so far, and just like what you see, really, to be fair. So as I always say before I start my videos, is always please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button, so when you know I'm on and doing videos, please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k. Okay, I will say, forewarning, there's going to be things that I bring up that some people may not like. There's going to be things that I bring up that some people will like, but that's about all of us having a difference of opinion. If you want to come in and chat to me and give your take, this, that and the other, I don't mind in the slightest. I don't mind at all. Okay, so let's get into this episode. So we know that it's goodbye for Grace and Ruben. Grace does really break down in the fact that she knows that she's going and she's leaving the villa, and she doesn't really want to leave the girls behind. All the girls are sad that she's having to leave, but when it comes to the lads, Josh really felt it. It really hit him, because Ruben was his boy. At the end of the day, Ruben and Josh walked in together, and they stayed close, like brethren, stayed close throughout that whole time that they were together. And the one person that he would draw advice on would always be Ruben, and vice versa. Them two would talk to each other all the time. And then left with fuck with Joey and Sean. Still like Kieran though. So Joey was saying to Grace when she was going and he was hugging her that he never not wants to be friends with her, basically. As I said, everybody, it got emotional. So afterwards you see Mimii comforting Josh after Ruben and Grace has gone. And basically Mimi's there saying that she'll be Josh's Ruben at the end of the day. And it was heartwarming to see Josh be vulnerable like that, and to be able to show it to Mimii. So Josh basically talked about as well the fact that he was upset about people talking shit again, and this meant in the task with Joey talking his shit and being really disrespectful towards Mimii. And he says he can't keep taking it again and again and again and again. And Mimii basically says that she's not going to sit down with Joey at all. She's had enough. And at the end of the day, them two need to protect their peace, which is what I have been saying. And it came straight out of Mimi's mouth. They need to protect their peace, because these people aren't about being true or tried and tested friends with them. They're about literally ratings and seeing if they can keep poking the beast to get him to snap, basically. That's what that's about. So basically Mimii is saying that he's acting like he's so good with her and he's her friend and all this, that and the other, but he keeps trying to make Mimii look like a dickhead again and again and again. So it appears that they're both done, especially with Joey, and not so much Sean, because he's been a little bit quiet this time around. So as they're sitting there chatting, lo and behold, of course, Joey walks through the room. They both don't even look at him. They're looking at each other. They don't even acknowledge that Joey's there, and Joey walks straight through. Now, Joey has no reason to act like a prize plum with these two, because at the end of the day, he's the one who's causing issues with them, not the other way around. So you see Joey walk through the room. Mimii and Josh start to laugh as he closes the door, and as Joey's walking up the stairs, he's going, it's just pathetic. This is boring. It's boring now. And I'm like, yeah, what's boring is you and your rotted attitude, and you thinking that you can keep coming for people when you can't at the end of the day. So you see Joey's still talking about the fact that Grace has left, but had to add on, oh well, I really hope Ruben is the man for her. Well, I really hope Ruben is the man for Grace, and proof will be in the pudding at the end of the day, because she said she was going to prove us all wrong. So I'll be waiting for that to happen. Let's just put it that way. So Jessica was asking Mimii if she will talk to Joey. This is when they're getting ready for the day. And basically she said, after all the rubbish, she says, nah, my friend, not a chance. Not a chance. And if I was in there and I was a friend of Mimi's, I wouldn't allow for Mimii to talk to Joey at the end of the day. He would have to go through me first, because I'd be like, you're not going to come and fuck up my sister's peace. Ain't no way about it. So Mimii does turn around and says to Jessica, nah, bruv, not at all. Jessica appears shocked by Mimi's reaction of not wanting to speak to Joey at all, as does everyone else. And I'm like, what do they expect Mimii to do? She keeps getting bashed by this man, not just her, but Josh as well. She's had enough of it at the end of the day, and she doesn't know what needs to happen for them to freaking well let it the fuck go. So I would say Josh and Mimii have given grace to Joey time and time again, but they're at the point where they're just like, you know what, no more, really no more with it. Jessica turns to Mimii and said, well, Joey will probably pull her, and Mimii said he shouldn't. He really shouldn't, because at the end of the day, she's not about that energy. Joey is not owed any type of grace from Mimii or Josh. So Mimii is talking to Jessie and Nicole, and I just kind of thought, with what Mimii was talking about, it was the wrong person for Mimii to talk to, because Jessie has a tendency to constantly defend Joey, even when he's acting like an asshole to people that she says she cares for. So Jessie actually said that Joey does really like Mimii, and Mimii was like, really? And I'm like, he doesn't, because he continues to disrespect Mimii in the next breath, so he doesn't really like the girl. I mean, just in that same day, he disrespected her, and all Jessie did was put her head on his shoulder, and now she wants to chat this shit. Like, seriously, Nicole gets it straight away, like, fully gets it straight away. So Jessie is literally really turning into Joey's trumpet about that he had good intentions, but his delivery was off. Good intentions about what? Good intentions about... How can you have good intentions about saying to Josh or Mimii, yeah, when Mimii tried to get Ayo on a terrace to get him back, yeah, and it didn't work, and then she come crawling back to you? That's not good intentions. That is not good. What is he intending to do with that information? No, it ain't about good intentions with Joey. It's because Joey couldn't get the best of Josh or Mimii in that scenario. He went low. He literally went low. So they literally had to go lower and say, oh, fuck no, now I've had enough. Jessie needs to stop defending that dude, because I tell you, if she decides to have a relationship with Joey or continue any type of relationship with him, that's what she's going to have to keep doing, because this man is going to upset a lot of people, but this time it will be in real time, and he may end up getting his mouth boxed, to be fair. So Joey then has the gumption to walk over and smile in Mimi's face, you know, smile in the girl's face and ask her, do you like me? I'm like, what the fuck is this right now? So Mimii doesn't even start smiling with the dude, because she's like, yeah, don't play me enough for no puppy show. So Mimii tells him, you are not my favourite person right now. I thought, right now, not ever. Not ever. I don't care what fraction I will cause, I would not be talking to that man after the bullshit that he kept on doing time and time again, and throwing my friendship in his face time and time again. Me and that boy would never speak, because that's how hard I can hold a grudge, like, seriously. So Josh and Kieran are watching Joey go over to Mimii, and Josh says he thinks Joey is trying to pull Mimii for a chat, but he's saying from his vantage point, Mimii has already said that she don't want to talk to him at this point, and all he's going to do is make himself look like a fool, which is true. All I'm saying, at that point, Mimii needed to just stand on business and not let Joey bowl her over with his bullshit like he's done before. So Joey says to Mimii, you know I want the best for you. Mimii at first just looks at him and don't say a word, and then says to him, well, act like it. Act like it. Act like you want the best for me, because you sure as hell ain't showing it. Let's put it that way. Joey then stands there like a loose end, you know. And I'm just like, at that point, Joey needed to read the room and move along. Even Jessie stayed silent, like seriously stayed silent, you know. So Mimii point blank tells Joey she doesn't want to have this conversation with him right now, doesn't feel like having it at all. So Mimii shut the conversation down fully, and then Joey just kind of like, you know, as he does in true Joey fashion, overrides what Mimii is saying and thinking, and decides to talk about the game and his behaviour. Joey is now saying it's dropped. So Mimii stands on business and tells him, you say it's dropped and then you do it again and again and again. She said, I don't appreciate the disrespect. And I was like, come on, Mimii, tell him, tell him, tell him. At this stage again, Jesse's mouth was kept quiet, because you know what? There's a time and a place to defend your man, and this was not the time nor the place to do it. So here goes Joey again, making everything about himself, because you know he has to circle back and then double down on shit that he believes has happened to him when he's doing shit to other people. Okay. So he was then trying to say that Josh was coming for his relationship with Jesse, not working on the outside. So as Mimii said, that's completely different, and it was a completely different context, because it was in the context of the questions asked. All Josh asked is, how busy is Joey on the outside, and what it was that Jesse does as well. Because at the end of the day, what them two are not getting is that with Joey saying he's such a busy man, but he lives X, Y, and Z, he's basically laying the foundations that he's never going to have time for Jesse. He's going to expect Jesse to do all the legwork in their relationship. Let's just put it that way. That's what Josh was trying to get at. So Joey does a backhanded sorry, basically saying that it keeps getting brought up. And I'm just like, but only Joey and Sean keeps bringing it up. Mimii rightfully tells him there are things he could have brought up, things she could have brought up about him and Grace to Jesse, but she didn't. That's when Jesse's head perked right up, and I thought, you ain't gonna get no information from Mimii. Let's just put it that way, because if my girl was gonna give you that information, she would have done it already, but she didn't. Out of respect for Joey, she didn't tell Jesse how literally much of a player Joey was, okay, when it came to Grace. So Mimii she stood her ground for real. So now Jesse is trying to give Joey an out again, excusing Joey's behaviour by actually saying that Joey and Josh have clashing personalities in how they communicate. I was like, no, my love, your man needs to shut his mouth once in a while and stop antagonizing the situation with his little sidekick, because it ain't a clash in communication, because Josh is clear on what he says. It's the fact that your man Joey can't comprehend. He has no comprehension skills in terms of what is being said, in terms of understanding what is being communicated to him. And then he tends, because he doesn't fully understand what's being told to him, or doesn't want to understand, he antagonizes the situation by trying to antagonize Josh with his little sidekick Sean. And this is why I said sometimes I wish Jesse would just shut up, stop trying to rescue Joey. What she could have said was, Joey, look, Mimii doesn't want to talk right now, and I think it's best if you give her some space, because Joey really has a fragile ego. He is a fragile person, like seriously, for real. And this is why I think he likes Jesse, because she continues to defend and co-sign his bullshit in her defense of him. So Mimii just decides at this point, I'm getting up. She walks away. She says she's bored of the conversation fully. So Josh does go to her and takes her to the daybeds to chat. So Mimii ends up telling Josh what happened. And Josh is right. Joey shows a lack of emotional intelligence, and that Jesse will have to consistently, this is what I'm saying, stroke his fragile male ego all the time. All the time. Josh says he isn't pulling Joey for no chats at all. And he says that he has his people like Ayo, Kieran and Mimii. He did include Sean, but we'll have to see if Sean continues to keep playing up Joey's arse or not. So then it comes to the daytime. So Josh ends up grabbing Joey for a chat, even though he said already he weren't going to talk. But I think at this point, Josh was like, you know what, fuck it. This needs to happen. We need to let bygones be bygones and move on how we need to move on at the end of the day. So now Joey wants to clear the air. Josh said he's not going for Joey. He just felt that Joey was coming for him and Mimii each chance he got. And I'm just like, man's been letting this man off the hook so easy. So Joey is now saying it's done and that he understands it's a sensitive subject for Josh and Mimii. Me, per se, I don't believe it's a sensitive subject per se. I believe that Josh and Mimii have discussed it Ayo and Jessica have discussed it, and Mimii and Ayo have discussed it, so they all knew where they stood. So it was a continued disrespect for Joey and Sean to constantly keep pushing it in their faces to get a rise out of Josh each time. That's what the issue was. So Josh does tell Joey that he doesn't want him to think he cannot have an opinion. It was just a comment he made which was off, and hopes that this can be put behind them now. And I was like, we'll have to see at the end of the day, won't we? Because proof is in the pudding. But I do see it coming up at some point again somewhere. So Mimii gasses up Josh to Nicole about how she likes that he protects her, and he has all the qualities that she wants and was looking for in a man. So then a text comes in, oh Lord of God. So it's basically date nights. So the boys have to prepare for the girls. So the boys get to go out and go shopping, pick their foods, pick their gifts and whatever it is they're going to give to the girls and make the night special. So all of them look like they're going to take a hand at actually cooking a meal. Whereas Joey got ready-made pizza and Josh let me down by getting waffles again. Come on, man. Switch it up. So the text came in for the girls and they end up getting a pamper session. So Sean ends up getting sweets, of course. Joey picks up a big bear and Josh goes for 2 chocolate roses. So Kieran decides that while the guys go to the transportation, he wants to go off and get something really gorgeous for Nicole. So he goes and gets jewellery. Well done. Well done, Kieran. My first thought though is why did Joey have to go and be with him? Why did Joey have to be in that scenario with Kieran? Because Kieran and Joey ain't even all that close. I'd say Ayo and Josh is more closer to Kieran than Kieran and Joey is, but anyway, he was in it. So the lads come back and they set up and they go and tell the girls what colour outfits they want them in. So Kieran asks Nicole to wear green or red. Josh asks Mimii to wear white. Sean asked Matilda to wear all the colours and her response was, what the hell? And I was like, yeah, we're as confused as you, my love. Like, seriously. I have to say, with the date nights, the lads did well, to be honest. The lads really did well. So Josh goes and gets his waffles for Mimii. Mimii loved it completely. Josh basically said that it was one of the hardest days and he felt nervous. Mimii believes that they're going to be amazing together. She says she can only imagine it can get better from where they're at, and she tells Josh that she's been happy, and for Josh he is happy. He stated that he'd been waiting and being patient was the best thing he ever did. Side note, Josh, if you ever do come across this video, you were not patient. You were not patient. You knew what you wanted. You went in and you got it. You just wanted that situation between Mimii and Ayo to be done and over with completely, but you weren't necessarily patient. So Joey gives Jessie the teddy bear, gets her pizza. Joey says he doesn't regret anything. Jessie says she believes that the situations they've been in has brought them closer. Joey says that since he met her, he always knew it was her. So Joey asked Jessie to be exclusive. More power to them. I'm just kind of thinking, is it just exclusive in the villa at this point in time to try and get your ass into the final? Is that the game plan? Or are you asking this girl to be fully exclusive, especially when you get outside the villa and things start to change once the real world starts to impacting on your relationship? As again, proof will be in the pudding. So Ayo made Jessica pasta and she loved it. Ayo is happy with how everything has lined up, basically. Jessica basically says that she fully trusts Ayo. Ayo doesn't want the journey to stop. He asks Jessica to be exclusive with her. And I was like, you know what? I'm happy for Jessica. And to a minute point, I'm kind of happy for Ayo because he has literally made strides since the faux pas that he made with Mimii at the end of the day. I think things happened how they should have happened. So Jessica said, so basically I have a husband. Ayo just went, oh. And Jessica replied, oh. And Ayo went, yeah. I thought I would just go with his first reaction. No, you may have a boyfriend, but not a husband right now. And I think using that type of talk may scare the fuck out of Ayo at the end of the day. So Sean went and got his food, but I thought, hold on a minute, he only got the one out. I was like, he bought 2 steaks, but only 1 came out. And I thought, okay, he must have burnt the other one. Sean says he's listened and he's learned. And I'm like, I don't know how much he's listened to and learned, because he still continues to, you know, double down on the shit that he does say. And especially when people call him out on his shit, he literally brings it back on himself, like Joey does. It becomes about themselves, and they place themselves in a place of vulnerability when they're not. They're the ones that cause the situation. So I don't know how much he has learned and listened to at the end of the day. He said they had big tests, and I thought, yeah, you had big tests and Sean failed them, but hey ho, it's what Matilda wants. It's who Matilda wants at this moment in time. So Nicole and Kieran, like, have their little date. They're all lovey-dovey. Nicole basically agrees with Kieran and says to him that she does believe that he worships her, and she turns around and tells him that she trusts him as well. And then he gives her the necklace, and we can safe to say, with the amount of noise that Nicole made, she absolutely loved it. And anyway, that is where that episode ended. I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. As I always say, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know when I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k, and I'll be back across your screens very, very soon. Peace out.